Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lowwapanews, program made by Scouts for Scouts, right here in the Northeastern Pennsylvania Council. My name is Leo Cahages, and welcome to all of our viewers from throughout Pennsylvania and across the country. On this week's episode, we'll be preparing for the warm weather by checking out the BSA Safe Swim Defense. Before that, though, let's get a check on the weather right now with Lowwapanews' meteorologist, Joe Colavetti. Joe, how's the weather out there?
Well, the weather's
Thanks, Joe. As we move into summer, the weather is getting warmer. That means it's the perfect time to go for a swim. With more on that, we go to Assistant Aquatics Director at Goose Pond Scout Reservation, Jacob Rogers.
What's up, everyone? My name is Jacob, and today I'll be teaching you guys about Scouting Safe Swim Defense Plan. So, Scouting Safe Swim Defense is a great thing to learn about because it's a requirement for one of the ranks to rank up to Eagle, and also it's a requirement for every aquatics badge that you might take in your scouting career. So, to start it off, at Goose Pond, where I work, when we teach Scouting Safe Swim Defense Plan, we teach it with an acronym called PDQ BALLS. So PDQ BALLS, and it helps you define every word in Scouting Safe Swim Defense. So, start off with P, personal fitness. Personal fitness is to make sure everyone's physically fit and able to participate in an aquatics area. It doesn't necessarily mean how strong you are, just so you can make sure you can swim past that ability. Next, we have D for discipline. So discipline is to make sure that you are disciplined in the area. Not necessarily, punishment for somebody, but to make sure that they understand the rules and regulations. This way we can all have a safe and fun time in the area. Next, we have Q for qualified supervision. Qualified supervision just means that we have an adult who is 21 years of age or older, trained in Scouting Safe Swim Defense, and they take full responsibility for everyone and everything in the area to make sure everyone stays safe and has a good time. Next, we have B for buddy system. So buddy system is to make sure that every time you go into the area, you have a buddy with you, and when you leave the area, you have a buddy with you. Your buddy's kind of like a backup lifeguard in a sense. So this way, if you're in the water and a lifeguard is watching, 10 people at once, you are like those extra eyes on your buddy. And if you notice something that we don't, you can let a lifeguard know and help your buddy out. Next, we have A for ability groups. So there are 3 ability groups that we go through when we have a safe swimming area. There's the beginner area, the non-swimmer area, and the swimmers area. So with the non-swimmers area, it just means that it's 4 feet or lower and that you're able to stand and have your head above water. This way you can learn how to swim as well as get used to being in the water. Once you get more comfortable, you move up to the beginners area. Beginners area makes sure that you're able to swim in an area that you can also stand as well as be able to go underneath. This way you can advance farther out, and if you're having trouble, you can just swim back in, and you'll be able to stand on the shore. And finally, we have our swimmers area. Swimmers area can go as deep as 12 feet, and this way we make sure you're able to have that full swimming ability, and we know that you're capable of swimming in an area where you can't stand. So next we have lifeguards. Lifeguards are BSA lifeguard certified or Red Cross lifeguard certified. Which this means is they have to take a certification test and test their ability in swimming and life-saving. There's a bunch of requirements they have to go through in order to become a lifeguard. Now, when lifeguarding, a lifeguard can watch 1 to 10 people, but if they're split in different areas, that lifeguard can only watch the people in his area. Next, we have lookout. So lookout is basically the person that's on shore or on deck that is watching over the sky, make sure there's no storms coming in. If you're at camp, they're watching the boating area, making sure there's no boats coming by, and keeping everyone in the swimming area safe. Then finally, we have safe swim area. So with a safe swim area, we want to make sure that everyone's safe in that area by making sure there's nothing on the bottom that can hurt them, there's nothing around the pool that can hurt them, making sure that no boats are coming into the area is lined off with buoys showing where you can and can't go, and just following those rules and regulations and keeping our discipline when we're in this area. And that's all I have for Scouting Safe Swim Defense. So thank you guys all for watching.
Thanks a lot, Jacob. Up next, let's check in with Connor Brown for the Scout Joke of the Day.
Why did the fly eat on the tent flap? 'Cause it was a dining fly.
Dining fly. Thanks, Connor. Up next, for the last segment on today's program, we go to Dr. Klasner for the Scoutmaster's Minute.
Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Frank Klassner and I'm Charter Organization Representative for St. Mary's Visitation Church in Dixon City, where I work with Cub Scout Pack 21 and Boy Scout Troop 21. Well, here I am in my backyard, and right after this Scoutmaster's Minute, my plan is to go do a little bit of flower planting and some shrubbery work, just work around the yard, get some long-term projects started and in some cases finished. But while I'm sitting here, I'm also thinking back to the good old days when my brother and our friends in the neighborhood would get together here and we'd play all sorts of ball games, baseball games, softball games, kickball games. And I remember there'd be always somebody, sometimes it was me, who, no matter how hard they tried, they were very good at running, jumping, and everything else, but they just couldn't get that ball to go right across the plate. It went all over, it didn't go across the plate. There's a lot to be said for self-control, for being disciplined enough to focus on getting a job done, getting it right through to the criteria that you expect of it to be accomplished. And that's not just in sports, it's also in other parts of life. I'm wondering how many of you, if you're looking back over the last 2 months now from your COVID-19 quarantine days, wish that you had a little more focus maybe in getting some school projects done. But maybe because you weren't always going to class, instead you were just staying at home and maybe tuning in or just downloading assignments, you couldn't always keep your mind self-disciplined and focused on getting that task at hand done. Well, as we're going out now, as these quarantines are getting lifted and we find ourselves going out more, don't let that any lack of discipline, any lack of self-control follow you because you may have been cooped up for so long. Make a resolution that when you're seeing, hey, I have these long-term plans in scouting, I have these plans that I have to get done around the house, I have to maybe take care of some more coursework yet before the end of the year comes. If you find yourself losing a little bit of focus, a little bit of clarity, if your self-discipline is starting to get a little weak, think back to this poem that was written in the 1940s by a baseball commentator about getting your efforts over the plate. It counts not what you have, my friend, when the story is told at the game's far end. The greatest brawn and the greatest brain the world has seen, maybe yours, but in vain. It's the guy with control that's the one who counts. It's how you use what you've got that counts. Have you got that bead? Are you aiming straight? How much of your effort goes over the plate? Keep that in mind. Take care and good scouting.
Thank you very much, Dr. Klasner. Well, folks, that just about wraps up this week's episode of Lowwapanews. You can also contribute to the program by submitting a skill instruction video, a scout joke, a Scoutmaster's Minute, or anything else related to scouting. If you're interested, contact Lowwapanews at lowwapanew.org for more information. That email address is linked in the description of this video. Until next week, this has been Leo Cahages reminding you to keep on scouting.